Hey team, wanted to walk through our 14.3 planning issue as we kick off refinement this week for this milestone. So the big thing to note, this milestone happens during contribute. So we're going to likely be slimming down what I'm going to talk about today as we get closer and we understand what the size of these things are and the efforts involved. I haven't updated our capacity. We didn't have a great 14.1. We're all taking some well-deserved time off and have some big stuff on our plate. No worries there. So as we talk about the theme of the milestone, it's really about artifacts, artifact maintenance, focusing on delivering better outcomes to users when artifacts are created by making sure we're reporting the right size of what's being stored, deleting those things as soon as possible when appropriate, really keeping them only when they should be, and parsing them faster on upload. So we have a few issues related to that. Some of the key ones here, though, are recalculating all artifact size, writing a script to do that to make sure things are done correctly and that all of our artifacts are actually being reported correctly about how much space they're taking up. And then destroying projects on time. When something ages out, it's taking a while if there's a lot of artifacts and traces associated with it to get it all deleted. So we need to focus in and execute on that. There's also a couple of issues, I don't have them listed here, around the parser for Covertura files. We have one that includes an MR from a customer to increase the limit, but we also have one to implement the SAX parser for the Covertura parser that should allow much larger sizes and resolve that customer's problem. So we'll probably want to focus on the SAX parser first and then do some performance testing with the larger files the customer's already provided. Hopefully we can get them involved in that as well. And then the last one, and this is really a stretch, is the test execution summary data for projects. So this is going to be a data point for that project quality view that we're working on solution validation on now. It's something that we should generate. We're going to need it even if our validation takes us a different direction. We validated that this data that shows up in the test report is valuable to users. They don't want to dig into pipelines to get it. So even if our solution that we have today is that's not implemented, having this data available to us that we can make available through GraphQL or the API is a positive thing for us. So we should go and implement that endpoint, but that is a stretch. We have a ton of artifact work in front of us. I also want to focus on the design issues. The UX team is kicking off right now, doing a bunch of design around MR widgets. So I just pinged Hayana in this issue. Performance changes as a percentage. This applies to or is really focused in on what we call the browser performance experience. The user in this case wrote their own performance report and is using it that way. But still, we know that these are integers. We can run that math, do that calculation, understand it's something increase or decrease, and report that. So we're going to try to loop that in to part of that redesign. And that will be happening with the design. Implementation then would happen in a later milestone. I'll keep working on refining the planning issue. If you have questions, go ahead and drop a comment on it. I will put a link into the YouTube video as well as into Slack, or drop a comment on the YouTube video, and I'll go try to take a peek at that later. Thanks. Cheers.